And this community wants the killer found. There have been rumors circulating. So a short while ago, community leaders held a news conference here asking on everyone to be patient, to allow detectives to fully investigate.
Then, after Nip passed, you start hanging out with him. Facts.
Dan, Nipsey Hussle's fans, family, and closest friends all agree he's one of the realest MCs out there of his time. Now, this title isn't just because of his rhymes talking about the life in South LA, but because he's creating change.
Did you actually get in several altercations with Nipsey?
When the LAPD told me that it was Nipsey Hussle that had been shot, my spirit said, oh, that's what it was, because I already knew it.
Didn't you try to line him up several times?
LA County prosecutors are laying out their case against the man charged in the killing of Grammy award-winning rapper Nipsey Hussle. During opening statements, they told the jury the shooting was premeditated.
Who said you was in town? Why do you need an alibi? Why do you need an alibi for the day that Nipsey died?
Nipsey Hussle's older brother, Black Sam, sat down with legendary radio personality Big Boy on his off-air interview series. In a recently published episode, Big Boy and Black Sam talked about a bunch of topics, ranging from Sam and Nipsey's childhood to Nipsey's untimely death that shook up the rap world. Toward the end of the interview, around the 1:07 mark, Black Sam opened up about the day Nip was killed in 2019. Black Sam remembered being optimistic that Nipsey would make it as they headed to the hospital, but admitted to having his faith shaken when Nip ultimately passed from his injuries.
The music community is in mourning after a rising star rap artist was shot and killed in Los Angeles. 33-year-old Nipsey Hussle was gunned down in front of the clothing store he owns yesterday afternoon. 2 other men were also shot. Hussle was nominated for his first Grammy this year for Best Rap Album, and he collaborated with stars such as Snoop Dogg and Rick Ross. After the shooting, his fans gathered near the scene.
He cared about us. I care about him. You don't understand what he meant to us. He was here for all of us. Whoever did that, they was wrong. God don't like ugly.
This interview would take the internet by storm, triggering more speculation about Big U being involved with the murder of Nip. It's no secret that there was tension between Nip and Big U before he was killed. Wack 100 would take to Clubhouse to voice his opinion about the entire situation, even going as far as exposing the murder of Fats and why he was killed.
Fats put Big U on his pockets. Damn. Big U tried to take off on Nip, and Fats took off on Big U and set him on his pockets. In front of everybody. A week later, Fats was out of here.
It wouldn't be long before Big U would respond to the recent flood of allegations being brought up against him.
Yeah, we're going up, man. We're going up.
Tonight is lit. Club 11. You already know we outside.
What club we going to?
Club 11.
We're going to Club 11 tonight.
The hottest shit in Miami. Club 11.
Yep. All I do is uplift people, man. I don't worry about this fuck shit, man. Y'all gotta understand, man. People gonna talk. These lanes make money off of using Big U name. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna never pull up. But one thing is for certain, right? Everything they say, Big U did it, man. They got me doing so much motherfucking shit, I don't even know what the fuck I don't even know what I'm coming. Then I didn't do it.
Got you in a whole bunch of different places at one time.
At one time. They say, y'all, you know, it's another new one too? I got into it with Fats. Let me give y'all the information on that. I ain't never got into it with Fats. Fats is my little homeboy. ever in my life me and Fats ever got into it with. Nobody, never, ever, ever, ever. So you gotta figure that one out anyway. So all that shit them fuck niggas telling y'all stupid for listening to any of that shit. But y'all been listening and responding to this fuck shit these niggas been saying for the last, this 6-7 years. Why you gonna stop? No, longer than that. Longer than that. Y'all was accusing me of shit that I ain't even do. And what's funny, I wasn't even in town. So figure that one out. But I ain't gonna address this shit. We winning. How about that? We winning.
That's a fact.
We ain't losing.
We definitely winning.
We ain't losing.
Surprisingly, Big U wouldn't be the only one who had something to say about the murder of Nip. Mika Love, a certified baddie from the trenches of LA, will go live to speak on the events that took place before, during, and after the death of Nip.
They said Big U said shitty. I don't know, bro. I don't know if Big U said shitty, but when that shit with Nipsey first popped off, when it first happened, everybody in LA thought Big U said shitty. We all thought that. We all did. We thought it was Big U, and then we thought, people was like, no, it wasn't Big U, da-da. And then it was like, oh yeah, it was the government. Like, come on now. That's what the world was saying, the government on some weird shit. But all of LA, yeah, we all thought Big U did it. We already felt like it. Because like Black Sam said, I didn't even watch that interview. I honestly didn't. I saw a couple of clips or whatever. But living in LA, I remember when Big U and Nip got into it because Nip didn't want to be under his label no more. Because Big U was trying to Big U had bought the Crenshaw brand and shit like that. And yeah, basically trying to extort Nip and had him in a fucked up ass deal. So when Nip finally got out of that deal, you know what I'm saying, he went about his way or whatever, and Big U didn't like that. And so they had animosity or whatever. This is just me living in LA, I know this. And then I remember when Nip started fucking with YG, and he had brought YG to the 60s. And when he brought YG to the 60s, I remember Big U was trying to pop shit about it. Like, how you bringing this whoop-de-whoop nigga to the hood, this and that. And Nip peeled out his shirt. And he was like, nigga, I'll get down for cuz whoop whoop. And Nip had to run fades to have YG in the 6-0s. But he did that. But Big U was trying to give him a hard time because Big U was mad that he wasn't trying to give him no money. You know? He didn't want to be under that deal no more. So that's what that was. So I remember that. So then when Nip died, because I remember Nip didn't want nothing to do with Big U. So when he got killed or whatever, all of LA was like, Big U did that shit. Big U did that shit. Because who would have known, who would have known, people, you had to be a part of the 6-0s. You had to be in his circle to know. Everybody knew, Nip, if you saw that Maybach on Slauson, that Nip was there. Everybody knew that. We always knew that. Frontlining that, dying over that is crazy. Yeah. But yeah, so everybody knew that when his Maybach is on Crenshaw, that Nip is there or whatever. But like Black Sam said, I seen that clip when he was like, usually niggas be having burners and stuff. That's what, when you live in LA, we all know that it's it's always burners and it's in a spot. That was a spot. So it's always burners up in there, some protection, and it's Nipsey, bro. So you'd be stupid. All of LA kept saying bro, why nobody had no burners? Why nobody was shooting back? Why nobody was doing nothing? Nobody shot back. Nobody did nothing. And that is crazy to have no burners, right? So when we looked at that, all of LA was just nah, that was an inside job. Because there's no way in hell you got Nip in the parking lot on Slauson and Crenshaw, and there's no burners, at all. So it was so Big U, did Big U pay all the niggas in the spot not to have the burners? I mean, to be lacking? And it was did Also, on top of sending Shitty, because like how he came the 2 times, he came the first time, he scoped out the scenery. We saw all of that, right? That was very evident. And then he come back in a red shirt to shoot old boy, to shoot Nipsey. But it's like usually niggas in LA, like in a spot like that, niggas be on point looking at everything. So after the first time he came, niggas should have recognized him, and then seeing him coming back, they should have been like, oh, this is the second time. That's like when a car going around your block. You like, this car just went around the block like twice. Then when it come again, that's the same car. Niggas be on that type of stuff. So it's like, I feel like that's why Black Sam don't fuck with none of them, because he feel like them niggas either fucked up or they was in on it. So I get it. I totally get it. But is somebody gonna do something about it? Probably not.
Link to Mika's channel is pinned in the comments. Go check out the entire live and drop her a like, comment, and sub. Although Big U thought that the situation was over, Loose Cannon would take to his YouTube channel to expose the inner workings of Big U's alleged plan to murder Nip, and at the same time dissect the reply that Big U had given while he was in Miami. The domino effect that Black Sam's interview has caused is putting back the covers on all involved with the murder of Nipsey Hussle.
I'd rather invest in some real estate, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, wait, can you repeat that again, man? You're up and coming artist. What did you say you want to do?
I say invest in some assets as opposed to trick off my money on some liabilities like diamonds.
Even before fame, this aspiring star had a plan for his fortune.
You're trying to get land.
Exactly, homie. A real asset. Take care of my peoples, because, you know, it look good, but at the end of the day, you losing value.
He was just 20 years old in this interview with Hard Knock TV. Over the next decade, he'd become a beacon of hope in South Central LA, a Grammy-nominated artist, a father, an entrepreneur, an advocate. His name, Nipsey Hussle. But just as his dreams were really coming true, this past Sunday, he was shot dead in broad daylight in the middle of the community that he'd poured his heart and soul into.
He was the neighborhood prince. He brought a lot of hope and change to the community.
You might as well call him the president of the hood then, Barack Obama of the streets.
It was so much more he could have did. He was only 33 years old.
He seemed to walk a fine line between the hood and a hope for a new world. Rising out of poverty and violence, making it big, as documented in this Midas Touch video.
Nip did more than his own thing. Nip took care of the poor people around here, the homeless. He took one homeless dude off the streets,
hop your ass in with me,
and put him in his Rolls Royce and pushed the shopping cart away and took him and bought him jewelry and got him haircuts and put him on his feet. Nipsey was nothing short of a servant to the people. They told him the problem, and then he took it to the powers that be that the other people didn't have access to.
So is he a bridge?
He's the architect of the bridge.
Born Ermias Ashkadom, he started out selling mixtapes from his car trunk. He famously sold CDs for $100, empowering his indie label All Money In. Finding success in music, teaming his independent label with Atlantic Records.
Nipsey could have went Hollywood, made some money, and just left all this alone. All the stuff we did was so he wouldn't have to die like this, you know. He died trying to save less fortunate people.
Many of his anthems, including the title track on his album Victory Lap.
Every few shows, I just buy some new gold. Circle got smaller, everybody can't go.
Speak to the disparity between the life he was living and the life he came from. Hussle was all in, committed to ridding the streets of the same violence that ensnared him as a youth. He admitted to being a member of a gang and even spent time behind bars. Hussle began buying up space in this strip mall on Crenshaw Boulevard and Slauson Avenue, combining his street cred with his business savvy, transforming the block.
He was attempting to make a statement about how life should be and how it should be elevated.
One of the number one things that Nipsey did that was positive, in my opinion, was he started something in the community with nothing. And then he gave out shoes. He buried kids whose parents couldn't afford it. You had people from all walks of life, from different countries, coming to visit our community and made it safe for them.
A visionary, he built an inner city empire. The crown jewel of his ventures, the Marathon Clothing Company.
You know, it was a higher purpose, I believe, for what we're doing over here. It wasn't to get in trouble with the police. It wasn't to be a menace to the area. It wasn't to, you know, continue a tradition of self-destruction. It was to build.
He talked about it in the Marathon Clothing documentary in the days leading up to the grand opening of his flagship store.
He gave back to the community. When I was coming up, we looked up to the gang members hanging out on the corner. Now, the gang members, we go to work every day. Now our kids watch us go to work. So Nipsey changed the cycle.
Then 3 days ago, just outside the Marathon, the very place where hope was born for so many, a gunman ended Nipsey Hussle's life with a shot to the head.
He loved his community. He was encouraging them and empowering them to be more, to do more with their lives.
We lost a big part of South LA yesterday, really the world.
He wasn't supposed to go out like that. This wasn't a part of the plan. But it's according to God's plan.
He called for peace. He called for justice. We're calling upon whoever killed Nipsey to turn yourself in.
After a 2-day manhunt, police arrested 29-year-old Eric Holder without incident. Witnesses said he was known in the neighborhood.
It was a guy that we knew.
From the neighborhood?
Yeah, from the neighborhood.
Mr. Holder walked up on multiple occasions and engaged in a conversation with Nipsey, subsequently came back armed with a handgun, striking and killing Nipsey Hussle.
Police say the murder was not a gang fight, but some kind of personal dispute.
There he is. There he is.
On Monday, Hussle was set to meet with the LAPD to discuss ways to combat gang violence. Despite his absence, police carried on with the meeting.
Nipsey's death has sent shockwaves across this city and across this globe.
With an international fan base still grieving, some of his biggest supporters include celebrities like Rihanna, John Legend, and the NBA's Steph Curry paying tribute.
Obviously, send prayers to his family, his community.
Actress Lauren London, the love of Hussle's life and mother of his child, writing on Instagram, "I am completely lost. I've lost my best friend. We are lost without you, babe. I have no words." Hussle's death was the 11th murder in South LA in the past week, despite homicide rates that have steadily declined.